Hi everybody, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Alright, today's live stream I wanted to do a couple of weeks ago. I actually wanted to do this as a series of videos, but now I am not filming from the Lenovo, I'm filming from the Chromebook. Unfortunately, I may have had a hard drive failure on the Lenovo, and that means the last two videos that I was supposed to put out are stuck in Lenovo, and I may or may not retrieve them. However, this is a video that I've been wanting to make for some time, and it's not a cat video. Now, if you are under 18, you probably shouldn't watch, because this is going to be talking about organic gardening of a vegetable variety and also of an herb variety. And we're going to be discussing adults only topics here. So please do not hang out if you're children or if you're cops or anything like that. Even though, let's say hello again and thank you to Governor Phil Murphy of the state of New Jersey for going for full legalization of cannabis. Now, today's video, let's talk about plants, and let's also talk about the fact that right now it is early December. It is freezing cold out, and most of the plants are dead outside. Now, you can still be growing organic tomatoes if you're growing them indoors. And I have like 4 or 5 little baby tomatoes growing right now. And one is red and is really ready to be plucked and eaten. And I think I'm going to pick it right now. Do you want to see? Come on with. Oh, and this is my bye-bye dead computer. This Lenovo here, I'm going to be taking this and a handful of other excuse me, electronics to Best Buy. I have this total tech support by Geek Squad, and that means that they have to take care of all my electronics. Let's harvest a baby tomato, shall we? And it's not really a baby. This is a cherry tomato. And it's been red for quite a long time, and I've been delaying the inevitable. I'm good at that. Do you see it here? I wish I could zoom in on this. Oops. Oh, look at this. And sometime tomorrow it's going to be eaten. So the subject of today's video is really about harvesting time, and I really did a lot of things messed up as far as harvesting a plant. Now, I am strictly an organic gardener. I'm going to close my door here. I wanted to go on this live stream so much earlier, but there were dealers and gangs hanging out, and they were talking so loudly, and they just would not go away. And if I would have tried to have started this video right now, you would have heard a whole bunch of dealers and gangs and stuff. So let me find a place, an angle to put this so that you can see me. The light's not really good. So I did so many things wrong. I should have, when you have a drying room for weed, you're not supposed to have any light in it. What the light does is the light will turn the THC trichomes into CBDs, and they're not going to get you high. So, and I have a pretty good idea that what I have is swag. But first things first, I'm going to put some rubber gloves on. This may very well end up being one of those what not to do videos when you finally have a weed plant and you think it's time to see if you're going to get any buds at all out of it. I tried taking care of it as best I could. Now, I did not actually grow it by seed. This is from the farmer. we kind of exchange plants. But what you're about to see is I'm about to snip it. Now, you can't just cut your buds and smoke them and that's it. Apparently, there's a curing process. And, oh, don't you know something? I forgot my scissors, so I'm going to just snap the damn thing off. Now, I'm not going to want to waste anything that might come out when I do that. So I'm going to put white paper down. And since I neglected to bring scissors with me, I'm going to just snap it off. And as you can see, I snapped it off. Now, I had already done a video which you hadn't seen. It wasn't actually a whole video. It was a series of footage. There are steps to this process, and because I didn't realize that there was a curing period after the drying, there would be no way I would edit a video that had a waiting period. It would just be ridiculous. So I'm going to do this as a standalone video here. Also, since I'm filming with the Chromebook, it doesn't have a hard drive, and it's almost all used up on my Google Photos. So long story short, I can't do anything that needs to be transferred to another computer and edited. I can only do standalone things. And live streams don't use up anything in my Google Photos. So that's the only thing I can do with this computer now. So that's the only way I can make my schedule. Anyway, curing starts the second that you cut the plant, and you have to hang them upside down. Another thing that you need, by the way, do you notice I'm wearing rubber gloves? That's so the resin doesn't get wasted getting on my hands, it just goes to waste. Now, you want to get some kind of a bell mason jar, some kind, and I'm only getting a small one because after you cut the buds, you're going to need to put them in a jar. And then, now this is where something that if I could afford the investment, what would really come in handy is something that would allow you to determine the humidity in the air. I can tell you here, this room is barely heated at all. But you can control humidity just by closing a jar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang these for 7 to 10 days. And then I'm going to cut off the buds. And I'm going to put them in this jar. And I'm going to seal it. And then I'm going to leave it alone, but I'm going to look at it and make sure that there's no signs of mold or anything like that. If you can see water droplets, which would be, of course, condensation along sides, then the humidity level's too high, and then you should open up the jar and let most of the water evaporate. You don't want mold. That defeats the purpose. Plus, moldy weed doesn't taste good anyway. So, but you need to really guess at the humidity level since you don't have the equipment. It would be really expensive if you were investing in it. But if you're only growing 1 or 2 seeds and you don't know what the hell you're doing, you can't invest in any kind of expensive lighting equipment or anything. I think this was just a whole lot of guesswork and not knowing what the hell I was doing. And I watched videos and I have read books on the subject since I was in high school. I'm not somebody who doesn't know anything about it, and I have grown in the past. But whenever I did, I never was able to see how big it was going to get because it never got to grow that big, So, and a lot of times I was never in one place long enough to grow anything, Oh man, January 1st, not only will be officially gone from 2020, but new year, new laws. Oh, I'll be so glad to see 2020 go. Well, I hope Christmas isn't going to be outlawed. Oh, by the way, happy Hanukkah. Earlier today, I was toying with the idea of putting on a 3-piece suit and At first, I was going to have a Christmas time. Then, when I realized that today was the first day of Hanukkah, I was thinking it's a shame I don't have anything that was solid blue. But then, when I realized that the subject matter of today's video, then I realized that it really didn't have anything to do with any holiday celebrations. And I'm sure that maybe there would be a lot of people that would, especially the religiously devout people, that would think that it would be profane to be bringing up something that they think is druggy. In tying it in with religion, and I don't want to offend people like that. But yeah, it's a process, and apparently you really do have to watch the light, which would mean that I'm just going to have to put this in a closet. But a good thing to do is just put something like this in a paper bag, seal it shut, put it someplace dark, and preferably put a piece of white paper on the bottom of your paper bag, so that any of the crystals, the trichomes, fall down. Gravity is your friend. Yeah, leave it in the bag for like 7 to 10 days before putting them in your jar. So, I can't, I can't edit up a bunch of pieces. I can't edit on this Chromebook that I am filming with right now. I'm going to have to call Best Buy and make an appointment. I can't just drop off things. But one cool thing is, since I am now the lucky owner of a cell phone that I know absolutely nothing about, I was up last night to dawn. I was so energized. I was, for very short few minutes, I was feeling really, really bummed out when I saw what was going on with my Lenovo. But then I remembered nothing is stopping me from taking a whole armful of tech products up to Best Buy at the same time. I'm going to have some things looked at. And if I just get a few basic questions answered on certain things, then I will not be without some way to produce content. So the channel is not going to die or anything. That was one of the things that I was worried about. Whenever I have some kind of tech problems, I'm always worried about if I'm going to be prevented from making content. And I just don't want to, it's being able to be a content creator is another thing that's kind of an antidote to this social isolation that so many of us are going through with COVID. So it is important for us as creators also. It's a way to reach out and touch the world and feel that we can find something that we can agree on, and that we can learn from each other, or we can find common ground in something. Hey, I'm going to count some more of my tomatoes while I'm here. They're plugging along here. And I have a sweet pepper plant that is still doing okay. It had flowers, but the flowers died on it. Its leaves looked a lot like a lemon tree. That's what I thought it was at first, but the flowers are definitely the flowers for a pepper plant. And I have a mint plant here. I had a squash plant here, but the squash died. The leaves were getting really big, and I had 3 or 4 flowers now, and I had planned on taking the flowers if they didn't set fruit, and I wasn't expecting them to. Considering the size of the container, the roots were not able to really spread out, and obviously something big like a squash plant needs room for the roots, and with containers you're limited. But you can batter dip the squash blossoms and fry them. But the only problem is, on the squash plants of all kinds, squashes and melons, they have spines on the branches, and also on the edges of the flower buds. So the only way that you can avoid any of the spiny areas is if you cut out most of or some of the flower. I tried doing this last summer, and I only ended up with like a couple of teaspoons of squash blossom, and that's and then once you cook it, it becomes nothing. I end up putting it in stir fry. So, speaking of stir fry, you want to know what I had last night? I had Bambi stir fry. When my Aunt Joan died, her grandson shot us up a deer, and we have a deer carcass in the big freezer. Not as a whole deer, but processed in pound things of like some of it's ground meat, some of it is steaks, and it tastes kind of similar to beef. It's not gamey at all, even though I wouldn't mind it if it was. But I had about a half a pound of thawed out, ground up deer meat, and I made that into some fried rice, and I shared it with my mother, and it was good. It was deer meat is very lean. It's really heart healthy. I recommend it if you haven't eaten it before. So I'm going to hang this upside down. Right now I could already see that a few things have fallen onto the white paper, but white paper that I have right here. I'm going to just lay it down on here for now. And if you want, let's see, I can go find a paper bag. What did you think of me being able to take Tabby Boy and Cassie in my arms at the same time? That is the newest skill we have. I have done it like 4 times already. Is that a kitty or is that a person? That's a person. That's a person. Oh no, she's found the butter pecan. That is a very good kind of butter pecan ice cream that they are selling at Dollar Tree, and I guess I can kiss it goodbye. Make sure to get the extra walnuts with it. And honey, I really recommend. Damn it, she's getting the rest of the butter pecan ice cream. I treated myself to 2, and they weren't even pints. They were like 12-ounce containers. I set a girl loose with a $5 bill and a Dollar Tree. You never know what she's gonna get. Okay. But I really like honey with my butter pecan ice cream. But if you don't have honey, you know what else is good? Pancake syrup. And actually, I like a little tiny bit of salt on my butter pecan ice cream. And then some honey or some pancake syrup. And then some extra nuts. We happen to have chopped walnuts. And walnuts are really good for you anyway. So I put them in because I love extra nuts in my ice cream. What am I? What the hell did I come in here for? Paper bag. It's pretty bad when you come into a room and you forget what you're in here for. It's as if I was stoned or something. I don't want to use a really big, giant shopping bag, but on the same token, you know what? Maybe this will be. That's not even. See, we have a bag just for plastic and paper bags of different sizes. Okay, this is a Starbucks bag that I think will be the perfect size. I'm looking very carefully where I step, because my hard shoes would be very painful for a pussycat. So, oh man, these people, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about this area and the dirt bags that just have to do whatever here. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is put the paper a little bit. See, I should have made like a funnel or something with it. Now I really wish I could hang this up. You know what? I'm going to catch it. Oh, okay. See, I want you to see what I did. I think I'm clever. I caught it on my tomato plant so that I could have something to set it on while I make kind of a bottom for this paper bag so that anything good falls off this plant will collect onto the white paper. Otherwise, it will just get wasted, stuck in the bottom of a brown paper sack, and I'd never be able to tell. And you know what? I'm going to have another bigger piece of paper, white paper, behind it, just to make sure that nothing goes to waste. But you know what? I really want to get out of this room because I'm so sick and tired of hearing all the crack comers. I can't very well yell out and say that I'm filming. Number one lesson I want is for anybody to recognize my voice and know that I'm a YouTuber. Second of all, everybody's afraid of you causing problems for them. I realize that these people are just trying to make a living, but it's like we who live here don't have any rights to quiet. I want you to see what I just did. See, this is upside down. Now, I'm going to make sure that everything is on the inside of something white so nothing can be wasted. Now, I'm going to fold this down to make sure that it does not show any light. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a dark closet and I'm going to leave it alone for 7 to 10 days. And then after that then it is sufficiently dried out. It's to keep the light out. Then I'm going to put those buds in that jar and leave it alone for up to 6 months. See, you can't just smoke things. It's a process. And you don't know if it's going to be any good until 6 months from now. Yeah. All right. I really want to get away from these sons of bitches. This irritates me so much. And it's not like I can go and turn on the radio or turn on some music, not when I'm filming. You know, anything that I can do to mask the noise would either get me in trouble for copyrights or it would make it hard for you to hear what I'm saying. So, oh boy. And now I gotta try not to rub up against this and turn this off by mistake. That would really suck. And I also don't want to spill my bag or what's in my other hand or drop this computer. Okay. Or step on my cords. These cats. All right. Mission accomplished. And of course I can hear those dirt balls here too. But at least I can do different things to make some kind of white noise or something. Now, one of the things, they're yelling, and this really sucks. They are absolutely yelling in the street. They're hanging out underneath the window. It's like they've totally taken over the street. This is just, it's out of control. And if I so much as put the curtains aside to take a quick look, sometimes if they happen to be looking up, then I feel like they could see that somebody sees, and I have to really make sure that my face is hidden. And if anything happens to happen coincidentally, then they might make a connection, say that I'm a snitch or something. I have to be so very careful and literally have to hide my hair under a hat. You can't, this is just crazy. Oh boy, no. A bunch of gangs are hiding out behind behind a van. Oh my god! I think it's a bust. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh wow! Oh my god! It's police out there. Oh oh oh! Did you see that? I don't want them to see me. Somebody just got arrested. Yes, boy, I did not call the police. You could see that. I'm talking to you guys. Uh, um, they were saying, get on your knees. It was, and the sad thing is that it doesn't, that I don't want people to necessarily get arrested. I would like people to just shut up and let me live in peace. Obviously, I'm not sleeping. And it's 12:52 midnight. It's not that late. Let's see. Oh my god. See, I don't want people to see that there's the face of somebody. Oh man. Yeah, I want to be really discreet. Did you guys see that? I don't want these people to, hey Char, how you doing? I don't want to be memorable. Now you should see these hats, these different knit hats that I hide my hair under and stuff. Oh, and I'm going to be putting some beads back in my hair soon. I haven't been feeling very festive lately, but with the holidays coming, but I'm not going anywhere. Unless somebody happens to come in town or some of my friends are doing something. I'm lucky if occasionally um, I see somebody when I'm going to mail a letter or something. And I did mail 2 Christmas cards last night. I'm very proud of myself that there are people who are I'm friends with on Facebook and who I know are Trump supporters, and I happen to have their mailing addresses, and one of them is somebody that got me my N95 masks, and since he did that for me and enabled me to have something to protect myself ever since April, so I wanted to do something for. Yeah, it's a shame that particular person got busted. All the people that have been hanging out here all night, and the thing is, if they would just deal quietly, I wouldn't care. I was not able. I wanted to start this live stream around 10 o'clock. I understand that the subject matter is adult in nature, so it's better to do it later at night. But I didn't want to do it as late as it was. I wanted to keep to a Thursday. I'm supposed to be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. But when you have conversation and yelling and screaming so loud that it would be picked up, and it does interrupt my train of thought. I know I should be more professional than that, but when people are actively talking very, very loudly, and every other word is the F word, and they're using the N word and other things, and then all of a sudden a woman shows up and you can tell that she's a working girl, and then when somebody used the phrase, I'm just trying to make a living, and then it made me think, as much as I find what they're all doing to be very annoying, yes, they're just trying to make a living. However, it's unfortunate that it seems like the right of people to occupy public streets is more important than the right of people to have peace in their homes. I can't escape this. You're in your bedroom, or you're in the bathroom, or you're in some place and you're comfortable, and then people start and their talking is really, really loud. And if they were just moving on down the road, that'd be one thing, but they're just hanging out there, you know? And then it's not just for 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just, and then police cars do circle around, and the people go and they hide wherever it is. But sometimes hour after hour after hour, and there's no escape. See more police cars? There are so many police cars around here. And the thing is that, for the most part, it's like things go on with impunity. You see crack pipes, you see hypodermic syringes. Oftentimes, they have social service agencies, they have drug treatment information vans and stuff. And the thing is, you have these people that stand around all day long. Now, granted, when it gets really, really cold, you don't see that as much. Yes. And sometimes when the weather's bad, it's less bad. But then sometimes when it's raining, people will be right underneath my window to get a break from the water. And then sometimes they'll be smoking, and the smoke gets in. You know, it's ooh. I, I just don't want them to catch me. Jesus Christ. For a dull moment. Yeah. I wish I had one of those periscope kind of things that would go in an angle and you could see. I mean, especially, I also don't want to let the warm air out. As it is, we don't have the furnace on very hot at all. And some of the rooms are warmer than others. And I can't keep my room door closed because the cats come in and out. And of course, they don't know how to pull the door closed behind them. So this door doesn't click shut. I've locked myself out too many times. God, what are these people doing? Oops. Looks like they took them away. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Oh boy. So, and people, well, I don't know how major that was, but it's sad when they catch only one person when there are these groups of people that get away with things, And oh, and there was a gunshot last night, and yeah, but no reaction. Sometimes there's a reaction afterwards. There's like a delay, and then there's an ambulance sound or something, but there was no sound of any human reaction to this, and there was no uh, it wasn't like the one time when they left, a couple of times they left the yellow crime scene tape, and you actually saw police with flashlights looking for whatever, and they were out for a number of hours the time before last. And sometimes the tape is left out there for a while, uh, and sometimes not for very long. And sometimes they even stop traffic for a while. It's interesting. And the last time I had to run an errand, which also happened to be when I made my trip to Dollar Tree, I saw some of those devices that the police use. They have the microphones that listen for the gunshots. Now I know what some of those things are. I thought that they also had something that sniffed for suspicious substances too. It's like they're kind of robotic, and they have cameras and they have sound sensors and stuff. I think they got them from a Homeland Security grant and stuff. Just like they have these big things that are barricades to help to keep cars from getting onto the boardwalk. 'Cause really, you need to have a permit unless you're a cop. You can't just drive on the boardwalk, and they certainly don't want some lunatic or terrorist or something going and driving and causing mayhem and stuff. So they have these barricades. I like to see things like that. I see Cassie. I see Cassie. Who's pretty girl Cassie? Who's my pretty girl Cassie? Oh, let me get my Cassie girl. Oh my goodness, my Cassie girl, who I don't understand these kitties. I gave her some pork for lunch. She had some pork, pieces of a pork patty, and Tabby boy didn't look at it. He looked at it like it wasn't even food. And so she was able to eat twice the num nums he did. And then I opened up a can of cat food. Hi, makeup by Andrea. Hi, hon. Yeah, I wanted to do the stream so much earlier today, but it was too noisy. And I have 2 makeup tutorials in the can that are in Lenovo, and I don't know if I had a catastrophic hard drive failure or not. But if I can get Best Buy to uh, get the data from that Lenovo, I have those 2. I can live stream makeup videos too, but I'm just going to have to use this for live streaming until I get the Lenovo fixed. But at least I can do that. And I also want to learn how to use this. I know nothing about them. I did access the instruction manual on the internet, but I didn't have time to look at it. But yeah. I see it doesn't even say they have the right time. But anyway, I just want to find out a few basic things like how to use plain old Wi-Fi with them, how to shoot pictures, how to shoot video, how to transfer them to a Windows based PC for editing, so that I can have something nice and small and portable to film with. It'll be so much easier to film in casinos and look less conspicuous when I'm walking around outside and stuff. I'll blend in with other people more. You just don't see people walking around with laptops to film. I don't understand why not. It seems to me as long as it's got a working camera, you know. And that's the thing is I've been wanting to, you know how hard it is to get some make some kind of tripod thing for a computer. I usually use things like for beach filming. I have used the laundry cart and a couple of empty boxes or boxes and a coat and balance the computer on that. But then on a windy day, that can really, and I've gotten complaints on the sound with the wind. I haven't used my lavalier mics yet. Of course, I'm going to have to see if they're even going to fit in with either the computer or the cell phone or whatever. And you guys know that I also have this camcorder that I have to find out how to get it has a time date stamp on it. I filmed a friend's band last Halloween and I have sneaking suspicion it's got this time and date stamp on it. And I have to go back into the menu and I have to get rid of that because that's annoying as anything. I have never ordered from Amazon yet. I'm like the last person who's an Amazon virgin. Most of the company I have the most experience with is wish.com. And I just ordered some rings from Wish. I haven't been wearing rings really much for the past 3 years or so, ever since I got arthritis and some of my fingers got kind of different textured and a little bit thicker, different shaped on the right hand side. Rings have not been the most satisfying experience for me because it's not as comfortable and not all the rings fit on all the same fingers. It's all different in whatever. But I started rediscovering rings, my own rings. And anyway, I ordered some on Wish, and maybe by Christmas they'll come in. I wanted to get a few more of the N95 masks also, since it seems like this thing is going to be with us for a while, even if we do start getting the vaccine. And I'm hoping that we get it soon. I'm willing to be right there. You know, so I would like my mother to get it, and yeah. But I wonder what kind of Christmas we're all going to have. Just I think it really sucks just not being able to hang out with people and nothing being open and stuff. And I'm thinking, it's almost no use in like planning out outfits if you can't go places and stuff. But I don't know. And it seems kind of like a superficial thing to be feeling sad about and stuff, but still, you know, and there's still probably things that are going on. And the thing is, I know when I look out my window, there are people in carloads of groups of people that are going out doing things. Weekends, there's still some kind of activity. It can't be just all people buying drugs. There's got to be other things that people are. And I listen to a lot of talk radio and news and stuff, and they're saying that the Airbnbs are still doing business, even though they're cracking down on the one night rentals to try to limit parties and stuff. And they're going to be doing that like they did that for Halloween. They're going to be doing that for New Year's Eve also. But I was listening to some guy's talk show. I think it was Jim Bohannon. And somebody was talking about how there are people who want to do the same things that Airbnb listed properties are doing without actually going through Airbnb. So they're paying less service fees and stuff. And And heck, I know some of a place in Wildwood, New Jersey that my brother discovered, I guess, through Airbnb. And then the subsequent times he just dealt with them directly so that they didn't have to give up a service fee or something. So I've never been to one of those places before. Usually when I go traveling, I stay with friends. I find that to be, but now you have to really think about the safety of doing that. I had like 3 or 4 times to go to Washington D.C. since this COVID hit, and uh, wasn't going to do it. And heck, between that and the people going crazy with the political violence, I don't need to be putting myself in any kind of danger with that kind of environment. So that really would suck the joy out of an experience if you're always looking over your shoulder. And so I think, and as I find with all these movements, is they have a time span and they blow over and on to the next issue. So I'm guessing that there will be another flavor of the week, and things will not be so intense and violent and things. At least that's my hope. I mean, I'm not saying that people shouldn't care about things like racial justice if it in fact is going on. Sometimes the problem isn't so much racial justice, is that people put themselves in the wrong place at the wrong time through bad choices that they're making, especially if it involves things like counterfeiting money, or just doing very uncool things like home invasion robberies and pointing loaded guns up against pregnant women's stomachs, and things. When you do such activities and police ask you to put your hands where you can see them and you argue the point, you tend to cause problems for yourself. And sometimes if a person is having reaction to an overdose of drugs that they've already taken, certain things can happen in your body way before an encounter with a police officer can ever happen. And yet you see the obvious imbalance of power, shall we say, between a perpetrator and a police officer. And right away you automatically assume that, oh, death by cop. And, people don't talk about personal responsibility here. So, yeah. Oh, boy. So, hey, does anybody want to buy a railroad sign? The more stuff I can get rid of, the easier it'll be to move out of here. And we really do want to move out of here. And this sign, it's real. And now this is an imperfection, but I've had it a long time. One of the places I lived, our landlord, she had a very good friend who worked at a railroad, and that's where we got the railroad sign. So you could see when I stand up where the railroad sign is on me, it's real. I'm guessing it weighs about, maybe 20 pounds, maybe 15. It's not very heavy. Where do I want to move? Well, it has to still be here in Atlantic City, unfortunately. What I really want to be is back in California, but by way of a very, very, very long leisurely road trip in my own used bus that I'm going to trick out into a YouTuber studio on wheels. Oh, I gotta be real careful. Oh, damn! I gotta remember not to do that with cornrow braids. This is my quarantine cornrows. Yeah. No, because I live with 2 other people, we have to think about what is easy for them to get to things like doctor's appointments and things. I'm also a caregiver to my mother, and she's 79 years old. So she has to be able to get to her doctors and things. And she walks with a cane. And when she's outside, she walks with a walker. When I was living in Los Angeles, there was a lot of people that were going back and forth between Los Angeles and San Francisco, and Los Angeles to San Bernardino to San Francisco. And when I was in Phoenix, Arizona and Tempe, Arizona, I really wanted to hop on freight trains. And these older hippie guys were talking me out of it, saying how dangerous it was, especially for a female. And they were talking about the Freight Train Riders of America. That's a gang that actually did murders and robbing, and they actually raped women and stuff. And usually when I hear things like that, I'm thinking, do I want to be vulnerable to that? No. But I would take there's a private bus line called the Green Tortoise, and that would be one of the ways that I would go back and forth to San Francisco. You know, so I miss San Francisco, but I don't know that I would want to be there right now with, they say, all the, I mean, tent cities wouldn't bother me necessarily. If anything, it would make it seem more convenient to just pop a tent and live someplace, but having to worry about other people's filth and things, people stealing people's stuff. Plus, I have 2 cats, you know. But thing is, having a vehicle, you have to worry about getting away with sleeping in it parked. And then if you're in a parked vehicle, you can't really, it's really hard to complain about noise outside, you know. There is a movie called The Last American Hobo, and I watched a showing of that the day Lady Diana died. Oh, I'm sure I'm dating myself here. They did a showing of that movie at a place called Mondo Video in Silver Lake neighborhood in Los Angeles. And there's this guy that I knew, and I can't remember his name now, but he loved the hobo culture. And he also read this. There's a paper for people that like to watch X-rated movies and things, and watch strippers and patronize hookers and stuff. The paper is called the LA Express. I don't know that it's even in existence anymore, but it was a paper that was in Los Angeles in the 70s and 80s and 90s and stuff. And it had other articles too, articles about pop culture and things. And this guy, I wish I could remember his name. He was old when I knew him, so I have a feeling he's dead. Anyway, he took me to no, he took me to some interesting convention for strippers and different things one time. But I happened to run into him at this Mondo Video, and we're watching this movie, and then they broke and made the announcement that Princess Diana had been killed in the car crash, trying to evade a paparazzi somewhere in France. Yes, I can tell you about that personally. They're called the hobo signs, hobo glyphs. My mother was raised more by my grandparents than by my mother, because my mother's mother actually went back to school after having her, which was not done during those days. So, but my grandparents' house, or their house, was marked, and these hobos would knock on the door, and they would be having lunch all the time. My mother would come home from school for lunch, and there'd be these old men or these guys on riding the rails that would be having lunch. And so she grew up, these guys entertaining them with stories from the road and things. And I met in San Francisco and in Tempe, Arizona, and when I was on tour with the Grateful Dead, I met people that rode rails. Some of the people who I was roommates with in Los Angeles had been people riding the rails. Some of the people that I was friends in San Francisco with were people who'd ridden the rails. And it's something that I always wanted to do and never got to do. Yeah. And plus, I'm not good at traveling light. But I love steel frame backpacks. So steel frame backpacks are really great for, you can balance so much weight on you, and tie it securely to your hip in nice wide padded straps that don't dig into your shoulders, and they're really comfortable, and they hold a lot of stuff. But the sad thing is the one good steel frame backpack I had, it's the kind that you can attach a bedroll to and everything. Because I had a sleeping bag when I was in San Francisco. I was a squatter, you know. But then, in the year 2000, Greyhound lost my luggage. And you know what? It takes you 6 months to get them to settle up. And the most you can get is $250. And if you got a bunch of fancy stuff, that's, I don't know. I'm kind of a germaphobe. I'd be really nervous about getting some kind of cryptosporidium or something. You know, there's lots of places that you can get showers in San Francisco. There's this place called 39 Fell. They have a detox treatment part. One time I'd taken some LSD and got somebody to babysit me. And one thing about LSD, now I don't do that stuff anymore, but on acid, I don't like to be cold. Yeah, that's the thing is, I think that that's what it was with Greyhounds. I do believe in, and now they say that you have to really, really be vigilant when you're making your transfers. And I may have been careless, but still, I had some really sentimental value tour shirts that I lost that I'll never get back. I had somebody had got for me a Chicago T-shirt, and it was a small enough size that it actually fit me. I also had a Stairway to Heaven Led Zeppelin T-shirt, and supposedly it was actually an original shirt. It wasn't just a reprint, you know. Yeah. But my favorite place locally to go to really seems to be Washington, D.C. But I'd be kind of nervous about taking a Greyhound bus with COVID right now. Oh, yeah, the cold water. I remember in Venice Beach, California, using the showers there, but yeah, they're cold water. And one time I was at the drum circle in Venice Beach, and I have these for the longest time there. I had these purple cowboy. No, they weren't people purple. They were hot pink, and they weren't cowboy boots. They were like those go-go boots covered with that plasticky stuff. And it was a full moon night, and I had misjudged how close I was to the water's edge, and a wave curled up and it got me, and it's got my boots soaking wet, and the boots were like just underneath the knee, and I ended up having to go and use a whole bunch of toilet seat protectors to sop up whatever water was still soaked into my boots. And this was the only time that I ever went out bare-legged in a miniskirt. I was actually staying with a friend who lived Little Koreatown, which is kind of near Vermont and Wilshire, kind of around there. Anyway, it's around that subway stop. So I had to go drip dry literally when I was getting the bus home. But I can only imagine how that would have been if I had to dry off at night. Even with California, even though it's very warm and stuff, December, if you're out on the beach, it's still chilly. You still want sweaters and things. God, these guys are making so much. Oh, man. They're out of control. But, yeah, I want to get rid of this sign. Now I have a lifeguard preserver, like a life buoy thing. I'm not getting rid of that. That has sentimental value. Things that are small enough that I could keep in my storage. And another thing I need to do out here is I need to find a friend with a car so that I can make a couple of trips. My mother has a storage in Egg Harbor Township, and we need to get some stuff out of here so we can close it out. Then there will be one less bill to pay. We need to really get rid of some of the bills. Black's Beach, wasn't that a nude beach? I always wanted to check that out, but never had the opportunity to. Plus, I have to really be careful about the sun. I just cannot be in the sun. I literally, I'm a night beach kind of person, and I believe swimming at nighttime, you're asking for shark bait, asking to be shark bait. And I'm afraid of sharks. I'll admit it. I am not fond of sharks. If I was in Florida, I wouldn't be afraid. I wouldn't be fans of alligators. I don't want alligators. I don't want crocodiles. I don't want piranhas. I don't want sharks. If you want to eat me, I want to stay away from you. I have a healthy self-preservation. Thank you. And I have, I'm always thinking about my safety when I'm deciding what to do. I'm always very, very, um, not paranoid, but I am very vigilant. So, you know what? I'm going to just, I want to make sure that I don't lose power. I'm going to go ahead and put the cable back in here. Uh, there. I had to put my necklaces over here now because Cassie was starting to attack him over near the window, and I can't have the cats starting to. Yeah, that's the thing is I keep my storage in Los Angeles so that even when I am living there, I have a place for my luggage and different things. But I have 2 units across from Capitol Records, and if I could go and spend some time there and consolidate and put everything into the one unit, then I will have my storage payment. I have been paying storage since the early mid 90s. Okay. I escaped a bad abusive relationship in Los Angeles, and there's no way that I was going to just to escape a bad relationship. I was going to leave all my stuff behind. There's no way. So what I did was when I was on my way to go to work at this dance establishment that I was working at, I would take a duffel bag, my dance stuff, and I would take a bunch of stuff that I would secrete into a storage. And I would secrete my stuff away a little bit at a time. And I had a P.O. box also that I used, that I had I kept anything that I wanted hidden from this person, such as mail and stuff like that. What you do is you tape an envelope that you've already looked at, tape it to the inside of the box, and then it's there, and you use it just as a poor man's safety deposit box. Even though I couldn't call it poor man's anymore, because the last time I had that P.O. box, it was $60-something a year. And that was, I cleaned that out in 2006. That was the last time I was in Los Angeles, was 2006. I got to spend my birthday there, and I had such a good time. That was when Borat premiered on my birthday. Well, actually, it opened on my birthday, but it premiered when I was there. I was there for 4 months that year. I was there for a little over 4 months. And so I got to see a lot of the entertainment of the premiere. It was at Man's Chinese Theater, and I was taking a bus from the Hare Krishna temple. Every Sunday, the Hare Krishnas have a big Sunday feast, and it's all this wonderful, exquisite vegetarian food. Now, I'm not vegetarian, but this food is so amazing. It's if you've ever eaten at a Hare Krishna temple, it's really good. It's a lot of it is Indian food, and they have this dessert. And normally, I'm not into any dessert that's not chocolate, but this is crumbly and it's dry, and it has like cinnamon and sugar and sometimes raisins, and I think it's a wheat based. I don't know what it is. It is so good. Oh my god, I could eat cup after cup after cup. I could OD on it, you know. But yeah, I was coming back from the Hare Krishna thing, and the bus was going up La Brea, and it was turning onto Sunset Boulevard, and it passed by all these bleachers and a red carpet and some dancers and some Ukrainian or whatever music was. Some of it was classical music, some of it was the movie took place in Kazakhstan and here in the United States, and it was the funniest thing. Oh, Thai Buddhist temple? Where's that at? I love Thai food. Oh my God. Now, there is in Los Angeles, there was some kind of a temple, and I believe it was Buddhist, and I only saw it when the gate was closed, and I took some pictures outside it. I wasn't shooting video then because I didn't have the capability. Uh, but I can't wait to show you guys Los Angeles. I love LA so much. Now there's people, they're saying that they want to move out here. The lady that is the manager of my storage thing, she wants to get out of Los Angeles. She wants to move to the desert. She says the crime where my storage is there has gotten really bad. They have a lot of homeless people, which of course there was, but the crime. Why are these people making so much noise? This really is so frustrating. This is my bedroom. Oh, that sounds amazing. Why are these people making so much noise? The fuck? It's 1:32 in the morning. I'm glad that he was walking and kept on quiet. I mean, that when people are that loud, they make me just want to punch them in the face. And I'm not that kind of aggressive person. I'm really not. It's just this environment brings something out of me. You hear nothing but hate out there. You hear, aside from when there's churches doing things, but other than that, there is so much negativity and yelling and screaming. And sometimes when people are happy, you can't tell the difference between the happiness and the fighting. They're all raising their voices and they're all being very chaotic and very just disruptive. And that's why I usually end up filming really later, but I would like to film earlier when there's more people up and stuff, and the sounds are more pleasant. Oh, I like trolleys. Yeah. Oh. Last time, the nearest Hare Krishna temple to me, I believe, would be the one in Philadelphia. And I've been to some of their, the Indian people's things. I went to something for Ganesha in Philadelphia a couple of years ago, and that was really, but the only thing is that they had forecast there's a chance of thunderstorms, and I have a real phobia about lightning, and so I couldn't relax. I kept on scanning the skies. It was on that parkway where it's pretty much the area that you would go when you go to watch the 4th of July fireworks in Philadelphia. The steps from the one of the art museums, the Rocky Steps, if you've ever seen the movie Rocky. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, you should feel comfortable enough to just be able to relax and not be stressed out. And it's not like I can turn on a TV anymore. First of all, my TV itself really just needs to be dismantled and taken outside. The picture quality is too bad anyway. But due to not being able to pay all of our bills, Comcast shut off our cable, but that's okay. I haven't really missed it that badly My mother, she's found a way to get on-demand news videos and stuff and movies. And me, I just really into talk radio and news. And as long as I have working internet connection so that I can work day job stuff, it just sucks what happened with the Lenovo just yesterday. I just gone onto my Hotmail to read an email somebody had sent, and I went to onto my YouTube to cut and paste the link to my channel because this chick was asking all these questions about Atlantic City. I said, why don't you go look at my videos? I have a whole lot of information. So, yeah. And I like Buddhism anyway, and certainly if anything involves Asian food, oh my God. So speaking of Asian food, I discovered that my favorite place for cheap sushi, it's out here in Atlantic City. It's called Yummy Sushi. It's on Mississippi Avenue, almost the corner of Mississippi and Atlantic Avenue. It's right next to Formica Brothers Cleaners. They are now open. Well, they're not open right now at 1:36 in the morning, but for the longest time, they were closed, even when they were allowing restaurants to do takeout and deliveries and stuff. And it's this tiny little hole in the wall place that they make sushi, and they make the most common kinds of Chinese food that they have on steam tables and stuff. And they have very reasonable prices, even by my cheap standards. And I can't afford to pay more than absolutely the lowest prices. But this place, I was going on my way to Dollar Tree, and I saw a sign that was lit up, a neon sign that said "Open for Business." I was so stoked because their food is good, and they're a place that I would definitely want to promote because their food is good. They're nice people, and I would hate to see somebody that offers quality that makes the neighborhood better. You have a business that has good prices and is a convenient location, and they're nice to people. Don't you think that's an asset? And these are all small businesses that we really need to support more than ever during the pandemic. So when I saw that they were now somebody on Facebook was telling me that they weren't making sushi now. I'd have to go and check that out. I was tempted when I was on my way to Dollar Tree. I was tempted to go in there and get their latest menu. They do update their menus as prices do go up gradually, but there always been really good prices. And a couple of birthdays ago, I treated myself to some of the food there and stuff. You know, just I've been learning to cook more and more foods and different cuisines. So I really don't need to get what I can make, but I haven't been going to the special supermarkets to get the special ingredients like I was for a while. I work with whatever I have on hand. Like I haven't been, can't tell you the last time I went and got a 25-pound bag of rice. I kind of really like getting those interesting bags, different shapes of burlap bags with different graphics on it. And there's one time I used one as luggage to take some things, snacks and things with me when I went to Washington, D.C. And my friend that I stay with, he wanted it, so let him have it. So, yeah, I know. I agree with you. Dollar Tree is way better than Dollar General because Dollar General has a lot of prices that are a lot more than $1. And some things are really not good deals on Dollar General. Like they'll have things for soaps and different things that are pretty much, they're really not great deals. Yeah, I noticed you have to look at the sizes too. But damn, I'm gonna have to get some more of that ice cream. I haven't had ice cream in a long time, but I want to get honey for the butter pecan. What I really like is Ben and Jerry's Coffee Heath Bar Crunch, and then they stopped calling it Heath Bar Crunch. They call it Coffee Toffee Crunch. But one time, see, I have a beef with Ben and Jerry's. One time, I got bad ice cream batch from them. I got it 7-Eleven, and Ben and Jerry's is not cheap. I don't eat a lot of ice cream, but if I do treat myself to ice cream, it's going to be something that's really, really wonderful. Otherwise, what's the point? If I'm going to eat the calories, I'm going to eat something that's good. I'm going to eat food that's going to taste good and it's going to just be amazing. If I have my choice, I'm going to go for that. That's what's absolutely amazing. If I'm going to eat bread, I'm going to go for something like a sourdough, which they have best sourdough in the world in San Francisco, I think. Or a real Atlantic City Italian bread. And I don't mean Formica Brothers Italian bread. I mean Rando's bread. If I'm going to want rye bread, I want it with the seeds. And there's a bakery here in Atlantic City called Ginsberg's Bakery. Oh, they have the bagels and the Jewish rye bread to die for. Now, Los Angeles has lots of good bakeries. La Brea Bakery. They have this Russian bread, which is kind of, I think it's made with pumpernickel flour. And they have, for it the 99, they used to have a store called La Brea Circus. They had big, full pound loaves of bread. They were sliced for 99 cents. Real dense, heavy brown Russian bread. Oh, you could get rye bread. You save, freeze at least half of it. Now, I didn't have a big standalone freezer there like my mother has here, but La Brea Bakery. There used to be, that was just a regional bakery, but you can get La Brea Bakery bread at lots of supermarkets. I was amazed. I'm thinking, hey, that reminds me of LA, how they can make such a good product at such good prices. It makes you wonder how you can have such a good quality and give it away for that. And different things at La Brea Circus, when that closed out, that was a place where you could find all these exotic kinds of tinned fish from Norway and different countries, different kinds of herring and tuna fish, and some was not the cheapest of cheap at all, most exquisite foods. You could find caviar there. Now, I don't understand why this says my connection is unstable. I'm not moving, you know. Oh, yeah. LA. And if you like Thai food, there's a place called Sanam Luang Cafe. They're on Hollywood Boulevard, just like 2 blocks east of Western. I forget the name of the side street, but the food is actually reasonably priced. And they're open till as late as 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's pretty good. It used to be really a challenge to find good food open late at night. And it sucks. One thing that sucks about LA is that like at 2 o'clock in the morning, the streets would pretty much roll up. It wasn't really a 24-hour town. When the bars closed, that was it. There were a few after hours things, but when you're still raring to go and it's hard to find things open and you want to get a food, but then the supermarkets can be open 24 hours a day, and Ralph's is a supermarket chain. And the one closest to the Sunset Strip is called Rock and Roll Ralph's, and that was a fun supermarket to see and be seen. You know, so, but I've always, I wasn't doing this naturally, but naturally, I really am more energized at night. It was dawn when I finally went to bed last night. Found myself, I had to come up with lists of things. Lists help me to be more productive. And I was making lists for questions to ask the Geek Squad agent about the computers and all these devices that I'm going to be bringing in, so that I have, make good, efficient use of the time. And just all these ideas for future YouTube videos and things, and deciding on this live stream today. I knew that I wanted to get into details about the start of the harvest. And yeah. Oh, yeah, they have a parking lot that uh, every time I talk to people who still live there in Los Angeles, they tell me how much it's changed. And well, the most depressing thing for me, though, is not the tent cities there. If anything, it shows that people that are desperate to live there find a way to live there. But there are so many people that want to live there for entertainment industry purposes, and it's hard to. I mean, the rents are just too high. That is such a tragedy. And if people want to live there, and then they more and more municipalities make it illegal to sleep in vehicles on the city streets, and that was always the one way to do it, is to have a Winnebago or some, for me, a van won't do. A jitney won't do because a jitney's too small. The way I see it, because now I have both this closet here, which here, I'll show you guys. Normally, for the longest time, I tried not to show this because I thought it looked too sloppy. But this is my main clothes closet. I don't want to turn my overhead light on because I don't want to draw attention to the gangs, so that if the cops show up, I don't want them to think that I'm the snitch. But this is my clothes closet here, okay? So I've got clothes there. I've got some drawers, but they have some things in them. But any drawer that's like over my eyeballs and high is really not very practical. I have to be really careful. This room, it's totally pitch black. Okay. This was originally for coats. Oh, you can't even see this. You can't even see me. Alright, I'm gonna take a chance of there. Alright. This was coats here, and this is overflow since the pole in the other room is bowing due to the weight, but you can see the pole is bowing due to the weight there too. Oh, want to see my lettuce? I was hoping you'd see the open flowers. There are these yellow flowers. I never got to eat any of these. Yeah. That would be fine to put in ramen noodles. That's what I really want. I have not had ramen noodles in months. And some of the stores, they're getting sneaky. Instead of selling 6-packs, they're selling 5-packs. That's bullshit. I remember for a while, there are times when you can get as many as 11 or 12 ramen for, what, ramen? How are you going to grow your own ramen? Oh, hey, did you guys see this? So let's count the tomatoes. Let's see this one here, this little baby. And oh, here. See that little baby? Smells good. Ooh. Do you see? There's 2 there. Oh, so I am so mad. I was doing a survey for one of my day jobs, And I spent over an hour, and this was asking me all these questions about the choices I make when I make my meals. And I was this close to getting it done, right? And growing my own, yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be swag. I'll tell you in 6 months how good I am. You know. Oh, and this is the pepper plant. Here, I don't want to drop this. And these are mint here. This was where the squash plant was. All these dead leaves here. This was a squash vine. This snaked all the way around. All these plants, pretty much, they were climbing up here, and they kind of shifted down, and I couldn't keep them up. Oh, yeah. 10 cents ramen? Wow. Oh, that would be wonderful. I never get tired of ramen. I could see there's commercials now for the Couple Noodles brand is making this noodles that are supposed to taste like fried noodles, and it looks so good. My first apartment in the state of California was in Torrance, California, and the landlord was this really cool Chinese man, and he worked for Nissan Foods. So he always had ramen noodles there, and it was so cool. I've always had a thing for ramen noodles, you know. And I trip out that there's restaurants that you can go to where you can have real expensive bowls of ramen noodle soup. I just as soon get the ingredients at home and make it yourself. So speaking of food, I have plans for a cooking video for you guys. And you want to know what the video is going to be about? I'm going to give you a hint. It's going to be about something that I have in this paper bag. And it's going to be chocolate. And I think you know what it's going to be. So I'm guessing in the next couple of weeks we're going to be doing that. And since I don't know if I'm going to have access to my Lenovo, I think I'm going to do it as a live stream. Now, you do know that doing cooking videos, it's trickier because the real way that cooking videos are done, you have something made so that when you're talking about it, you can all of a sudden have it. And I'm not going to have a second thing of mix and stuff. So I'm just going to have to do it as long as it takes to bake it. And for the people that are going to slog through it, they're going to watch a real-time cooking video. So sometime here in the month of December, I'm going to have a cooking video. And this is going to be another one of these videos that's for grown-ups. You know, I don't think that you're going to be wanting to babysit with your Johnny or Janie or Larry or Leslie or anybody with the kind of cooking video that I'm going to be doing this month. I mean, not to say that all my videos are going to be like that. If I make cookies, I'm not going to be putting any weed in them probably, even though that would be a thing, you know. I've never really had luck with edibles. I've never gotten high on any edibles I made. When my father, his last couple of months, my brother and I went in on some weed and I made some brownies, and I don't think there was enough weed put in them. I ate 3 to my own head and I didn't feel a thing. My father, once he found out there was weed in him, his attitude was, those things taste like shit. I'm not eating that. You know, he would have had some kind of health benefits, but some people are just anti-grass. Yes. Grow your own lettuce. Here, would you like some lettuce? Little miniature lettuces. Hey, they're going to be tougher, so I cook them some, you know? This is a leaf lettuce variety. Now, I'd still like to know how I misplaced all my garden seeds. I had a whole bunch of seed packets, plus I had seeds that I saved from year to year, saving seeds from when, things flower and stuff, saving seeds from tomatoes and stuff. I have a whole bag full of seed packets that I misplaced someplace. And if it isn't here in this room, it might be in a hallway. And since one of the hall lights is burned out, and the only way that I can, it's not burned out, I have a light bulb broken into a lighting fixture. And the only way that I can get it out there, I have to hit the circuit breaker, which is actually here behind those clothes. I have to trip the circuit breaker. I have to do this only during the daytime. Then, when there's no electricity in any of the wires, then I have to get on the step stool and I have to get a potato and I have to cut it in half. And I have to stick the potato up in the thing because that's where the light bulb is stuck. Matter of fact, I'll show you here. Yeah, you see that broken thing here? All this time, I have not been able to turn the light on because that light bulb is broken in. And I'm not going to go and ask the landlord to get one of his workmen to do it, because then, I would just assume that we do everything ourselves, for privacy and for safety. And, especially when I'm trying to straighten up around here, and sometimes things look worse before they look better. And, I don't need anybody thinking that I am, because I might not be able to afford a maid. I don't need people passing judgment or whatever, or, so anyway, but that's something I need to do so that I can finally have light on that end of the hallway. It really sucks not being able to see too well. And that's another thing. I misplaced my keys to my mailbox. They are in the hallway, and I'm sure that I had to have lost them. They're in the house, I know that. But it was coming home from Dollar Tree. That was the last time I was out anywhere substantial. Going to the mailbox to mail a Christmas card does not count for going out. But really, we're taking this stay safe, don't be out spreading disease thing seriously. I haven't had any reason to go out. Any shopping I can do, I'm doing online. Anyway, there's no reason for me to go out, yeah. So I dropped the keys somewhere. If they're not in the kitchen, they're in the hallway. I don't think they're here. I have looked so many places. I've torn this place up and down. If it wasn't for the fact that I happened to see the mailman earlier this afternoon, and I mentioned to him that I couldn't find the keys, and he said, "Follow me," and he used his key, and he opened up the mailbox, and he gave me my mail for the house. So I gotta find the damn keys, Oh, damn these dealers. They are just making so much noise. I'm so sick of this bullshit. Sick of this bullshit. Hey, does anybody need some ashes? I used to just blindly dump them in my plants, and I realized you can't do that. You have to do things for a purpose. And what ashes do, they make soil more alkaline. What coffee grounds do, they make a soil more acid. But you should use coffee grounds that have had some time to decompose. You don't want to use raw coffee grounds. Too much of them, they will get moldy. And mold can lead to root rot. You don't want to do that. I got a Cassie girl. Look what I got. Oh, I got Cassie girl. Oh, I got Cassie. I got Tabby boy. Oh, I got Cassie. I got Tabby boy. Oh, I wish I had some ramen noodles. Oh, no, you know what I wish I had? I wish I had my favorite flavor potato chips, Lay's Limon, Limon. I think I'm going to write them, and I'm going to find out if I can buy them in bulk. I can only find these tiny ass little bags. They're like, little bags. I want serious pound bags. And I should be able to get a deal on it if I'm, people, I've never really bought food on the internet. I love them. I love them. I think there's something about Lay's Limon chips. They're salty, they're sour, they are just so damn good. One time they had a halfway decent sized bag, and they weren't a decent sized bag. It was a small bag. There's this Mexican market that I go in sometimes, but I haven't gone to them in like over a year, and I certainly don't go and wearing my Trump stuff. But oh god, I don't know where to buy them. I bet they sell them to Mexico though. Oh, can you imagine going to Mexico and getting chips really really cheap, and then bringing them back over here? Oh man, that's what I would do if it was safe to go to Mexico, dude. I would get my favorite snack foods they make over there because Mexico makes some really great snack foods. I like spicy things. I like sour things. I like uh, hot and sour. I like barbecue potato chips. I like chilies. Yeah, I got to work on seeing. Maybe I have to get them that way. I love those chips. Oh man, yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to let this stream go on too long. Mexico Doritos. Yeah, I like the one kind of Doritos I like. Cause see, I don't like cheese. I make sure that there's no cheese in something or sour cream in something before I get it. But my favorite current Doritos is the spicy chili, the spicy sweet chili. Sometimes they have them two for $5 at 7-Eleven, but usually there's $3 a piece. And I'm sorry, or actually I think they can be as much as four and a quarter or something like that. But unless they're on sale, you know, and I could eat half of those big bags easily. Oh man, you guys are giving me that's giving me such a craving. I would love to go. And there's a 7-Eleven I can walk. There's two 7-Elevens within easy walking distance. But the thing is, it is so active out there. And since I can't find, the only key that I can find is the key to one entrance here. I would much feel safer having the keys to both exits and entrances here. That way, if there's dirt balls in the front, I can go out the back way or whatever. You know, I gotta find those keys. Oh, and one thing that drives me nuts about this Mexican market though is they only have prices on like half the stuff, and almost all the chips, nothing has stickers on them. And you have to go and try to find out what the prices are. And then if you're going to ask somebody that's behind the cash register, a lot of times maybe there might be somebody standing in line, or they might be waiting on somebody. So what this is with stores that can't be bothered putting stickers on for their prices. So you're saying that I should try their Coca-Cola? Good. They have access to Mexico. I never knew this. Mexico and other countries south of the border, they make really good pastas and chicken noodle soup, the chicken soup. And I noticed that Bimbo Bakery Company bought out some other American national snack food companies. I was in Tijuana one time. I had such a good time. This is before it got really dangerous with the gang activity and stuff. I went there. I had met some people at this really great cheap liquor store in Los Angeles called Regal's Hollywood Store. It was a place where you can get like 99. That sounds familiar. Oh, I love chicken. I love chicken. I love pussycats. I love pussycats. Oh, I love pussycats. I love pussycats. Hi, Stefan. How you doing? Welcome to my live stream. Unfortunately, I'm using the Chromebook because my Lenovo may have gone bye-bye. And I actually thought, oh man, how am I going to continue making videos if I'm doomed to having computers break on me? You know? I just have the most fucked up luck with computers. So this is my probably broken Lenovo. It's making that sound. It's still spinning. The only way sometimes you can get it to stop spinning and right itself by just pulling the plug and letting it power out, then juicing it back up again, then turning it on. But you know what? In the off chance it is a real power failure, I would just as soon give Best Buy a chance to get the data from the hard drive. And what I want to do is I want to bring that cell phone there. And there's this other computer that I think I showed you guys. Well, maybe not you personally, but there is a video that I made on the Atlantic City Boardwalk. And it involved somebody actually gave me a computer. The only thing is this computer this person gave me does not have a camera, webcam. Uh, oh, uh, oh, whoops, oops. I'm falling tech here. I have this I picked out of the trash. I don't have a charging thing for it. But this computer, whoops, here. Oh, I'm trying to do this one-handed. This is heavy, you guys. Oh. Here, I'm gonna set this down. This is a Toshiba. And it needs. The only thing is, it doesn't have a webcam, but I have a clip-on webcam. And the thing is, okay, I do not have a charging brick for it. So I'm thinking they can check it out and see if it's any good. The guy gave me the hard drive for it. Whoops. Yeah. Okay. No, but this I picked out of the trash. But the off chance, see if I can get any of this stuff to work. And if I can get this computer to work, if it would be worth it to buy the charging brick for it. And I have a clip-on webcam. You know, because I have every month Best Buy charges my credit card $21 for this total tech support, and it's an ongoing charge. Even though that's a pain in the ass, the cool thing is that any tech that I come into possession of that's mine, or say I say that this is something of my mother's or whatever, they check it out for me. They give me advice. They fix things. I believe the Lenovo is still under warranty, and they keep on bugging me to get an extended warranty and things. And you know, I have not had the best of luck with this particular Lenovo. Meanwhile, this Chromebook that I'm filming from, I got it on wish.com as a refurbished computer. It was $77, okay, $12 to ship it. It actually didn't ship out of China, it shipped out of Florida. And I just needed something to tide me over until I could get a real Windows-based computer. I just needed something so I can continue making content for my YouTube channel. And that is what I'm using right now. Even though I've had many opportunities when I thought that it was on the verge of dying, it's got a little chunk out of the corner of it that's, well, I'll show you in a mirror sometime. But it's still plugging away there. And since I discovered that I could still do live streams, and it enables me to produce content, even though I don't have any more space to use up, as far as making the kind of videos that actually take take up space. This, for some reason, doesn't exist in a physical form except what gets stored into YouTube. People are going to watch afterwards. But it's really cool that what I'm doing, because it's a live broadcast, it's almost like it doesn't really exist, you know. And it enables me to keep my channel instead of when your tech breaks and you don't have anything else to film with, and then you're worried about everybody forgetting about you and stuff, you know. Oh, Stefan, did you notice that the shirt that I wore in the video I shot a couple of days ago? Or no, actually, no, you couldn't have seen it because it was a video I shot, but it wasn't the video I posted. It was, yeah, okay, it was in the lives. Yeah, okay, yes. Because I have a couple of other videos that I already filmed in the can. Sometimes it all runs together. I forgot that just because I filmed something recently, that may not have been the most recent thing you saw, unless of course it was a live stream. But yes, then you saw that the shirt that I wore. So I call that the Wonder Bread shirt because of the polka dots. Oh. So what do you think of my being able to do both cats at the same time? Is that something? They haven't laid me open yet. I realize I'm taking my chances. I think she got her claw on the back of my hand just a little bit. But I didn't think that I was going to be able to pull that off. But I got 2 pictures of Tabby Boy and Ace the cat together. That was a picture that I took in my mother's bedroom, and holding them for like 2 seconds tops because they fought terribly. And well, you see how Tabby Boy and Cassie are. I have a piece of video that I filmed. I did a turnaround to a makeup tutorial that hopefully you guys will get to see if Best Buy can take care of my Lenovo. But I did both cats for the turnaround. And just because, well, I figured, let me see if I can do this, and I did. And I think a video is not the same if I don't have cats in it. It just isn't really the same. Obviously, if I'm out in the field, I probably can't produce cats for you, but I like to have cats in the videos. Oh no, yeah, Cassie has no sense of humor. But Dabby Boy, he likes to play poke the bear. He likes to sneak up to her and touch her tail, or he'll run up to her and just stop, like puts the brakes on, like Wile E. Coyote, and she'll go meow, and she'll go, and she's like, "Get the hell away from me, you stinky old man!" Think of how she had to defend herself out in the garden, dealing with all those people, and all this time, her being deaf. Oh, here comes Tabby Boy. Here's my Tabby Boy. Look who's here. My baby. Tabby Boy. Tabby Boy. There's a baby. Oh, my baby. And my baby. Oh, you're so good. Yes, it's my good boy. Yes, you're such a good boy. Oh, such a good boy. I wanted that ice cream too. Yeah, that's okay. I won't begrudge my mother the ice cream. Oh, yes. Oh, look at I got. Look at I got cat. I got Tabby Boy. Brushing a cat with toothbrush. Oh, you know what? Oh, let me tell you about toothbrushes. And if you have a cat that has dried food in their fur, I discovered that a wet toothbrush and wet the fur, that's a good way to get the dry food out of their fur. And you know what else worked? In addition to a wet toothbrush, used mascara wands. I always wash off my mascara wands when I use them, and they're really good to take food out of a cat's fur. Yeah. Oh, see some more garden things. See some tiny hot peppers? I have all these hot peppers from the garden. Yeah, Cassie weighs like 3 pounds. She's the tiniest little thing. Some of those, some of these peppers were purple. But you know what? These were not as hot as I thought these were going to be. These really hot peppers and barely any heat at all. And from my experience, usually the littler peppers tend to be really hot. I have no idea what exactly it was. So, sometime, if you missed it earlier, sometime this month, I'm going to be doing a cooking video and going to involve this. And it's going to involve some of that leaf shake. And, some oil for frying and, brownie mix. And I'm going to do it here in the kitchen. I also have some chocolate cake mix. And I have 2 other kinds of chocolate cake mix up there. So whatever uses least of the, some of them different brands tell you how much oil and how many eggs and stuff. And, yeah. I love chocolate. I was so bad. When I was at Dollar Tree, one of the things I got was a thing of chocolate frosting. And frosting jars aren't like as big as they were. It's only about half the size. I ended up eating it like chocolate, a little bit at a time. I took one of those plastic forks or plastic knives because I don't like the taste of metal in my mouth. So I use plastic utensils. We wash them, use them. And, ooh, well, I should have. You know what? The one plant that I put next to the weed plants is I like to use clover. Clover is one of the kind of plants, and also legumes like lentils. You can put lentils, you plant them around, and what they do is they fix nitrogen into the soil. And since I'm an organic gardener, I don't use Miracle Grow. I don't use any kind of chemicals, fertilizers. I was keeping a compost pile here in the apartment, but it was drawing flies and I was getting in trouble with that. So they have a compost heap over in the community garden plot where the thing is the crime got so bad here that I was too afraid to go over to water my plants and stuff. And I tried to get some of the neighbors to water the plants for me. What ended up happening is one of the farmers did some harvesting of my plants and gave me a box of tomatoes. Oh, hey, let's look to see if there's any more ripe tomatoes. Might as well check, huh? Okay. Nothing looks ripe. Maybe some of these things are only supposed to be yellow. Some more little peppers. I'm afraid if I drop this, it's just gonna fall. Yeah, nothing is, usually when you put things in a box or something, it ripens. Oh, this is just rotten. Yeah. And some of these, I think maybe they're just never going to get red. And this was an heirloom tomato. Some of them have these really interesting stripes, like red and green and stuff. But I think this is getting rotten. These, I don't think they're ever going to. But I've been growing plants since I was like 11 years old. I even used to grow cactus plants from seed, and that's really kind of a challenge. What most people think, well, because your cactus doesn't use very much water at all, but every seedling needs a lot of water, and cactus seedlings are no exception. But yeah, had cactus plants at a very young age, and got into organic vegetable gardening when I was in high school and stuff. But I got bitten by the entertainment bug. I never got to experience growing cannabis all the way to harvest. Usually something happened that prevented me from being able to get that harvest. Oh shit. Oh, the sign just went knocked into those plants. Not good. You know, I look at my plants with great affection. You know, they're obviously living things, but I care about them, you know, and when things happen to hurt them, it makes me feel bad. I wish you could smell this. There's something nice and green about plants. And this is the pepper plant here. Something tells me it might not, because I think they like it much warmer. And this room just does not get warm. But this is mint here. There was two different kinds of mint growing in the garden. And these have more rounder leaves than most of the mint that grows there, that has kind of the more, I won't call them pointier leaves, but there's a certain shape of mint leaves that you associate with mint leaves when you grow it. So I was almost gonna fill a bowl up with something and do a little smoke inhalation. I couldn't really relax and get stoned before, when all that activity was going on out there. It just was such an inhospitable environment, you know? And plus, I knew that the cops could be calling at any time, and I didn't want to put myself in any kind of vulnerable spot, you know. And I sure as hell wasn't going out there and showing my face out there. Uh, my mother spent some time in a farm when she was little. She got to be around chickens and cows and stuff. You think it's safe for me to turn the light on in my room now? So, check this out. Yes, I took the Trump sign down. I'm depressed about that, but I thought it was time for me to have a non-political background so that people wouldn't get their panties in a bunch, you know. So what I'm about to show you, this is a coffee grinder, but it's 2:24 in the morning, and I'm not about to make coffee, but you know what's in it? Yeah. Okay, well, I want to see if I can plug this, not that, that's already ground up. I want to plug the thing in. Okay, yeah, it says my battery is at 37%, so I should probably get a cord. I have a cord, but it's not where I want to be. So you know what? I'll just have to wait. All right. I got the ashtray. Got the lid. I gotta find my bowl. Cassie, you have... Cassie wouldn't do that. Cassie wouldn't have my bowl. Not you. Not you. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where's my baby going? Cassie, what are you doing? What are you doing? Cassie was in my drawer where I keep trousers. Oh, well, thank you for sticking your face in. You know, I wanted to start this so much earlier today, but there's so much noise outside, and there was just no way. You know, I cleared cleared that room out to make it look as empty as possible, so it wouldn't look so cluttered for that and everything. And the noise and the chaos just makes it so hard. You know, and then by the time I'm filming, half my friends want to go to sleep. You know, it's just if I start having tech problems, I don't want to lose my posting and have you guys forget about me. So I said, let me make sure that I go on live today and talk about stuff. And, you know, if you see me do some things that are maybe not the right procedure as far as a harvest goes, you're probably screaming and cringing, saying she's doing it all wrong. But you know what? I wasn't starting with the best, and I didn't have anything fancy to work with, and I'm sure the seeds were crap. So you know, next time I'm going to try to get some lights, but I don't really want to. You have to worry about the safety issues there. You have to worry about the impact it would have on your electric bill. You have to think, yeah, especially the safety issues. You know, and is it worth the investment? And like I said, if your seeds are of some dirtweed swag, no, it's really not worth. So, okay, I'm going to wrap this up. No, I gotta find where my damn bowl is. This is fucking ridiculous. No, I'm gonna find my bowl. Oh, hey, anybody knows where to buy this chocolate? Let me know. This is and I don't want to ask them where they got it, but it's really amazing. It's milk chocolate and it has hazelnuts in it. And I want to know. Oh, there it is. There's my bowl. Okay. All right. One of the things I like to use to get weed out of a coffee grinder is a guitar pick. I find guitar picks are really handy little scoops. But let me get back where the light's better. Here. Isn't the light better here? I like to take a guitar pick, and I find the finer ones, but not with rough edges. Fine ones. The thicker ones, they I don't know, they just don't get as good a grip. There. Now, this is where I very carefully put the grinder down. Then all right. Now, this is where I go and I take this and I put this on my chest of drawers because anything I put on the standing desk, Cassie gets on things and she knocks things over because she's a bad cat. Cassie just, part of the reason why I lose so much sleep is this cat gets up on everything. I mean, she climbs on things. And she knocks things over. She knocked the jar of pennies down. She knocked this dish they had, the hard drives from a series of computers I've had through the years. She knocks things over. Oh, she's going down the hall. I see you. I see Cassie. See that? Cassie. Cassie, I see you. Oh, I see my Cassie girl. Look who I see. Look who I see. Oh, and I guess I can't put you down there. Or I could, and we could see what happens. Oh, you want to see what happens? Whoops. Have a little mischief. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. No, she has no sense of humor. It's okay. Oh, oops. Oh, I thought maybe they were going to have a kerfuffle. Oh, well. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. I thought I had, if you need like matchstick things, tiny little pieces of cardboard. Boy, after a day like today, I earned that. Yeah. All right. Tabby boy. Oh, I see my baby. What's up? What's up? Don't you leave. Oh, there's he going. There, he's trying to leave me. Oh, I got a Tabby boy and he's trying to escape me. He's trying to go bye-bye. Look at this. I want you to see somebody. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at my Tabby. Look at my Tabby boy. My Tabby boy. All right. Now, everybody has been accounted for here. I think I'm going to get started on doing some more day job stuff, and I'm going to call it a night. So, tomorrow is another day. Yeah. Yeah, speaking of lighters, I just have a lighter that went bust, which is why I had to use a stove thing. I have a candle that I use sometimes. I've been burning a lot of candles to, set things up and stuff. And I find that some of them really don't last long at all. Tabby Boy, what are you up to? What are you up to? Hey, what are you up to? What? What? What's the matter? What's the matter, Tabby Boy? Huh? What? What? What's the matter? Hey. What a grouchy son of a bitch. Why are you so grouchy? Well, fuck you too. I don't understand why he wants to be like that. Yeah. So, yeah. This later, he's gone. Bye-bye. This candle's almost all used up. Used this up all the way, and this I doctored it up too much, and I kind of, but, yeah. Thank you for stopping by, Jorge. Yeah. All right. Well, before Christmas, I'm going to have to make that video, like I said. And, you know what? I'm going to pour myself a cup of tea. And, yeah, maybe I think I'm going to burn that candle because, boy, it smells fragrant in here. Okay. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. If you do, ring that bell so you don't miss anything. I'd love to have you join me on my adventures. Till then, talk to you soon. Bye.